Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our hashtag United series in Football Manager 2019. Now the season is humming along quite nicely. The big one that you'll be able to see here is that we are currently in 5th spot just above my head. Again, performing above all expectations. We were expected to be in the relegation battle again this season. We've slowly been progressing. We were 17th the first season in the Premier League, 10th last season, and we've pushed up another level, but there are teams right on our heels. We have to continue winning games, we have to continue getting points, and hopefully we'll be able to do that again in this episode. Since the last time we saw each other, where we had that 2-1 defeat to Southampton and a 4-1 victory over Crystal Palace, we beat Watford 1-0. We lost to last place Blackburn 2-1. Tom Bradbrook got himself sent off in extra time of the first half. Really put us under the pump. We actually could have had opportunities to win this game. Didn't play too badly, but eventually they got a goal on the counter. It was a good goal, to be fair, like a 30-yard curling strike, which saw us follow up with that another defeat. We then had a 1-0 win through a Jan Siegrist penalty against West Ham, our local rivals. A good performance. It may have been a penalty that got us the goal, but we were definitely the better side in that game. We then had a 2-2 draw with Chelsea. It doesn't look like that bad a result, but we were 2-0 up in this game. Then they had a man sent off, and then Matija Basar, the bane of my existence, 99 cap, 28-year-old Croatian advanced forward, came off the bench and scored 2 phenomenal goals to drag them back into it, make it 2-2, and then because it's the Carabao Cup, it automatically goes to penalties. They scored all 5 of theirs. We missed one of ours through Jan Kolbas. And unfortunately that means we are knocked out of that competition, but it gave us a chance to focus on the league a little bit. And we beat Bournemouth 5-0 the next time out. Liverpool 2-0 away at Anfield and Burnley 2-0 at home. Excellent performances there. In this game, however, Sander Patnama picked up like a groin strain or something. He got through the entirety of the match, but then we were without him for the next 3 games and Kelvin Austin came in. Now, nothing against Kelvin Austin. He's just not really, if you look at him here, he's just not really at a Premier League level just yet. So a 3-3 draw with Manchester City, nothing to be sneezed at, but we were winning, and then he kind of palmed one back into the net for Federico Chiesa in the 87th minute. But 3-3 was probably a fair result. It was an end-to-end game. We then lost 3-1 to Arsenal in the FA Cup. We did rotate a tiny little bit. We didn't perform particularly well, so not blaming Kelvin Austin for that one. But then in the next game against Arsenal, we had 2 go. Like, he gets a 7.1 match rating somehow, but like both of the goals he should have done better with. There was a penalty that he actually gave away in that much, coming out for a corner and missing the ball and taking someone out. And Josh Cole, I think, with a very simple tap-in follow-up after he spilled the shot. So disappointing in that one. Siegrist did pull one back from us. He's been in a decent little run of form. But after getting out of the knocked out of the FA Cup as well and a loss in the Premier League, we did manage to turn our form back around. An excellent 5-0 result. George Sosa and Nen getting amongst the goals against Swansea. And then a 2-1 win at home against Norwich. They pulled one back very late on, but we were in control of this game pretty much the entire time. And that brings us up to where we are today. Wolves, who have dropped down to 11th spot. We're going to play them at Molineux. We're also going to travel up to Old Trafford and play Manchester United, who are sitting in 7th. So they're in that pot of teams that are chasing us as quickly as possible. So really that's going to be a massive one to see if we can kind of solidify our place in the Europa League spots and potentially, if other results go our way, jump up into the Champions League places as well. Nobody's catching Tottenham. Tottenham are on 59 points. They've lost 1 game so far this season, 3-0 to Manchester City. Man City are a fair bit ahead as well, but this group here of Liverpool, Chelsea, like, we know we can match those teams at the moment in the division. We just have to be consistent in all the remaining games, and thankfully we're also going to get through this little period here of Saturday and Tuesday games and have pretty much all Saturday to Saturday games for the rest of the season, and that's when we're at our best, when we're actually able to play games a week apart, put full training sessions in and get our young squad through. Speaking of Wonder Kid Watch for this week, we are up to 12. I think it is. Oh no, it's the new one that we signed, Stephen Clark. Basically what I want to do, and I might try and do it in this game, is I want to get a team of entire Wonder Kids out there. The only one I'm missing at the moment is a Wonder Kid goalkeeper. There is one that I've identified. He plays for Manchester United. His name's Chris Lukungu. He's a Belgian international. You try and make an offer for him. They previously accepted this bid, but now when you suggest it, oh, they're okay with it. All right, so they're happy to take 40 million. Which means I might have to do some creative account keeping here. We'll confirm that, and then I'm also going to destroy the scouting budget and try and get that up to 20 million as well. Can I go to the board and ask for any more money? Alright, so we're going to see what he comes back with at the conclusion of this game, but potentially, if we can pick him up and have him play against Manchester United in the next game, we might be able to name our first squad, our first starting lineup of entirely Wonder Kid players. The big jumper that we've had this season, Nen, he's been phenomenal since we picked him up. Still only 18, already the best player in the team, alongside Tom Bradbrook. And there are quite a few players that I've started offering new contracts to try and push up their minimum release clauses. So like Jeremy Berger, you'll see he's gone up to 40k a week. Kupic has gone to 30. A couple other players here have moved up to 30 because I've tried to push up their old release clauses to like 80 million, like 100 million, whatever else. And you can see there's a few players that are actually starting to get big teams sniff around. Not West Ham, but Juventus have been after Kupic for a while. And if they meet his release clause, he's actually allowed to go. I've already told him that and made that commitment, so if they bid £40 million for him, he'll be on his way, which is kind of part of the reason that we also brought in Stephen Clark. He's similarly a wonder-kid central defender, still only 20 years old. We can bring him in, play him alongside Bradbrook, and he counts towards our England quota within the squad, so all positive things there. Now, let's jump straight into the game against Wolves. I do want to keep our run of form going. I do want to continue picking up good results as we work our way through the season. And this is the lineup that we're going to go with. In our hashtag 442 shape, we're wearing the away kit today, the nice blue one. Kupic and Clark as a central defensive partnership. We just mentioned Pat Narmer, of course, in goal. Berger and Rapp as the fullbacks. Howe and Navarro, who have both had excellent seasons on the wings, and Akanovic and Kolbas as the midfield too. Sosa will captain the side and play as the number 10, and then will lead the line. They've got Jack Clark, who's currently their captain, and Claudio Gomez, who they've just picked up this transfer window from Manchester City. We did look at him in a couple of episodes ago as being one of those academy developed players for Manchester City, who I think he eventually left and then came back and did whatever else, but they've pushed him on again to Wolves. Recent form have us in 5th, they're in 13th. That should be enough. Someone looks stressed, so let's just tell them we've got faith. It's Sreko Kupic who looks stressed out. I don't know what he's got to be stressed about. He's had an excellent season. And if he continues to play well, he's got to move to Juventus on the cards, so he should be pretty happy. Highlight here, Akanovic to take a free kick. He gets it on target, but Ivan pushes it out pretty well. And we're going to immediately see from the follow-up here. Throw forward to Nen. It's headed away, but Kolbas will tidy up. Navarro now, deep ball across. It's headed away, but only as far as Akanovic. Comes out to the left-hand side. Berger's got a man right on him, so he plays back inside to Akanovic, inside to Howe, steps inside, finds Sosa, releases to Nen, gets his strike away, and he's hit the crossbar. It's been hooked away, only as far as Rapp, and that is the end of the highlight. So good interplay there, good patient build-up, working it to feet, finding a striking option. We're already through 30 minutes, which is flying by, so we're going to demand more, and hopefully see if we can get another highlight before half-time. We don't, but we have had a pretty commanding first half performance. We've had 13 shots, 7 on target and 55% possession. They've had 2 shots, none on target and 45% despite playing at home. We're going to passionately say, time for everyone to dig in. See how that works. It's worked pretty well. Let's also passionately tell the forwards you have the ability to make a big difference. And as we always do, give it 15 minutes and then we'll have a look at some subs. Highlight here, it's a deep throw in for Wolves. To Slanecki now at the right full-back position. Forward to Oakley. Back to Slanecki again. Salinas now with the ball. Akanovic was the only one going to press. He's facing the wrong way. He's crossed into nothing area. Clark should tidy up and plays forward to Nen immediately. Out to Navarro. He crossed to Akanovic. Overlapping run from Rapp. Gets the ball back post. And Howe managed to... he just couldn't squeeze that one in at the second time of asking. Good first time volley. Had a tough angle to work with. He hit the inside of the post and it just missed. It's a highlight here, and then we're going to make some subs. Ball forward to Howe, who has picked up a knock. Ball towards Nen. It's an excellent pass, and Nen with his 24th goal of the season. We're still only in January, by the way. He's well on track to hit 40 goals in his debut Premier League year. Let's check it out in 3 dimensions. Long ball forward from Kupic. Howe does very well, just hangs it up front post, and then cuts across the front of the defender, heads it in. That small gap as the keeper was moving back across. And now we might also take off Howe just because of that knock. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Sosa hasn't played that well. We'll bring on Tommy Oliver because he hasn't played much in the last few weeks. And then I think we might also bring off Akanovic and bring on Kwakwa just to give him a rest before the game against Manchester United. Assertively, I have faith in you, make the difference. They all seem positive. And we're also going to use our Get Creative shout with 30 minutes remaining. Highlight here, Berger to take. Comes to Kwakwa. He's got a man across if he can find him. Instead he goes himself, and it's not a bad effort, just over the crossbar. About 12 minutes remaining. Ivan with a long ball forward. Woodley flicks it on. Clark should tidy up unchallenged. Out to Berger. Looks for a long ball forward towards Nen, who's gotten himself in behind and goal side. Can he find the finish? It's a good save from Ivan. Nen recovers, finds Navarro, gets a ball across, but Ivan does very well again. Comes out and claims the cross. Let's demand more for the last 10 minutes. See if we can get that second goal, which our play deserves, but really it would just help kind of put aside any fear that they might score. Carter with a deep ball across from a corner. Looks like a push on Nen. He's going to go look at VAR, and he's given the penalty, so Nen's going to take it to get his second goal of the match and 25th for the season. Oh, it's a good save from Ivan. We've missed a lot of penalties this season. Both Sosa and Nen seem to struggle with them. And we don't really have like a natural penalty taker that's got like 15, 16 rated penalties. 30 seconds remaining. We've got another corner here. Navarro with a deep one in, but Ivan captures the ball. They've got 3 forward, but thankfully they give up on. And I've hiccuped in the middle of that sentence. Ball comes forward to Rap. Back to Pat Nama. Just go long. He does near. Referee can call it at any time, and he does. It's a 1-0 win. It's not perhaps reflective of how the play went. They had 6 shots but none on target, 46% of the ball. We had 25 shots, 14 on target, and 54% possession. We are playing some excellent football at times. Passionately. Very nice victory, well done. And really, it was last season having the incentive to go and try something different and try that initial trequartista formation that we were kind of looking at. Not formation, sorry, but like tactical instructions. And then it was tweaking from there and looking at the analysis and looking at all the stuff that we did well during that period and then kind of tweaking and changing it from there. So that's always what I just kind of advise everybody to do. Like, just go and look at what your team can do and what your team does well and what the strengths of your team. We're a young team. We're not overly physical, but we are relatively quick and good in our movement. So we try and move it as quickly as possible now. Out of possession, like we try and play a little bit higher and back ourselves to win those 1v1 races high at the pitch. And that's really been the big difference. We, this season, less or more than any other season, haven't had to rotate between caution and attacking mentalities because our positive mentality is working so very well for us. Now, what we do have to do is have a look. There's a couple of players that will want rest. Howe's picked up a knock. He's going to be out 4 to 8 days, so I don't think we'll risk him for the next match. And Kupic needs a rest as well. So Bradbrook might come back in and we'll put Kolar on the bench instead. And everyone that just played, we're going to give them 1 day's rest because we only play Manchester United in 4 days. And those back-to-back away trips are difficult for any player. Vintage display ensures hashtag United victory. Eric Rapp got the Man of the Match award with a 7.6 rating. I thought Nen was fantastic, but that penalty miss is probably going to hurt his average rating. Pretty big win. First win against Wolves in a while, which is good. Pat Nama's been excellent, hasn't conceded in a while. Performance was complete. We played well in every third. Always looking to improve the squad. And Juan Carlos Navarro has been magnificent so far this season. He was last season as well. There you go. Nen's actually leading the scoring chart in the division itself. Let's go and have a quick look at that because I very rarely check in on it during an episode. We scored the 3rd most goals in the division. Got 3rd best away form. 3rd best run of games without losing. Tottenham obviously have the highest with 19. We've won 3 in a row. We've scored in 16 games in a row, which is an excellent return. We haven't conceded from a corner yet. We've spent quite a bit on transfers, which is an interesting one. And we've taken 7 penalties. I think we've missed quite a few. Here you can see Nen with the most goals in the division, 16 so far. Paul Howe, our summer signing from Arsenal, with the most player of the match awards. Juan Carlos Navarro is currently 3rd in the assist charts, but he's equal with a couple other players. And Jan Kolbas, 4.78 tackles per game, is excellent considering he doesn't start every game. Nazim Akanovic has the 3rd highest cross completion ratio, and Juan Carlos Navarro, 34 key passes, is enough to put him equal first with Ben Woodburn at Liverpool in the division itself. So we've got some good players. We've got some players that are performing at a Premier League level, which is great to see. And hopefully we can carry that in to the game against Manchester United. Of course, magic of editing, you guys aren't going to have to watch that. We're going to jump ahead to it now. Right, just like that, we're a few days ahead. They are playing a 4-2-3-1 with 2 deep midfielders. Luciano Donizetti is their captain. He is a very good player. He's a central defender and elite centre-back, but he can also play as an anchorman in midfield. Very, very good player. We've also got Lee Kang-in, who is one of those players that just bobs up all around everybody's saves. He is at Valencia at the start of the game. He pretty much stayed all the way through up until this season when they've brought him across. And he's doing okay. 3 goals in 18 appearances. They paid £48 million for him despite him being 31 years old. And then the big one, Sonat Karaman. We've looked at Sonnen quite a few times. He's been at Bayern Munich through most of this save, a young Turkish international. 22 years old, but already has 50 caps and 37 goals. A complete forward with pretty much every key trait that you would be looking for in that particular role. We did try and bring him in, but we just could never afford him. Like, they're paying him $235k a week, which is absolutely insane. Martinez is the current England international, so is Boyer. Dijan Carlos, I think, is the current Brazil national team goalkeeper. So, like, they've got a ton of really great players. But we're in a decent run of form, so let's passionately say we're underdogs here. Let's go for that, and then let's also passionately tell the front two we have faith in them, and hopefully we can take that on and get 3 points. They're missing someone. I didn't see who it was. I didn't go through our lineup either. The only two changes is Quackwa is going to come in for Colbass, and Carter has, of course, come in for Howell, who picked up that knock in the last game. Lee Kangan, we spoke about him before the game. Short free kick to Montidis, gets the strike away, but it's closed down well. Ball's going to come out by Dennis. We're pressing pretty well. Demon inside to Helt. Long ball forward. Should be dealt with. It's headed forward, but Pat Nama comes out and claims well. Highlight continues. It's a long ball forward and ends in the area. Comes back out to Navarro, who skips inside one challenge. Square to Akanovic. Can he release a ball in? Instead, he strikes from the top of the box. He probably should have tried to play in one of the forwards there, and the strike was pretty much straight at Dejan Carlos. Alright, they've had a corner here, but the camera cut out for a second, so I'm just going to hit play quickly, and we're going to hope that it doesn't go in the back of the net. It's heading towards Luciano Donizetti. It's headed away. Dennis comes back out, and he gets the strike back in. So it was like the camera was trying to warn me that there was something that I didn't want to see. And it's a good goal. Adrian Dennis got it back, I think, on his favoured left foot. It's not a bad corner from Kangan. We dealt with that first one, though, and then just the follow-up. No one gets in front of the strike quick enough. There is a man standing right in front of the goalkeeper, but not quite obstruction. It hit Pat Nama on the way through. 30 minutes gone. We're going to use our demand more shout. We've played a long ball down the corner. Rapp's going to chase. He's got a man on his back. He goes back to Pat Nama, who puts it into a bad area, and thankfully Karaman, his follow-up, hits the post and comes back out. We've gotten away with on there. Alright, half-time, it's been thoroughly Manchester United's game. We've had 12 shots, 3 on target and 50% possession. We've only had 1 and share 50%. We've got 2 yellow cards in that portion as well, but the bigger one is that we've only had 1 highlight, that 1 strike from Arkanovic. Passionately, we're going to say we know that wasn't good enough. A few have responded positively. Let's tell our defence they weren't that bad, but can still improve. And let's see if that's enough to inspire everyone to go on and play a bit better in the second half. We don't need to win every percentage battle, but we do need to try and find some highlights here and get back on the scoreboard. Throw in, taken short to Quackwa, across to Arkanovic, who can work it to the other side where we might have a 2v1. Berger heads it forward, Carter will get there first. Decent ball back stick, and Navarro with an excellent effort, and it's found its way in through George Sosa. It looked like Fofana was going to try and clear it off the line, but Sosa may have tackled him right on the edge of there, and he just needed to get it that centimetre forward to actually make it a goal. It's well done there from Berger to win the header. It's a good ball from Carter towards Navarro back post. He didn't have much of an angle to aim at, did as well as he could to hit the inside of the post, and then it's Sosa, goes flying through the back of Fofana, and manages to poke the ball home. So we found that equaliser pretty much immediately in the second half. Can we kick on and try and find a winner? Alright, we're through an hour and there's 2 guys on yellow cards. I'm going to bring on Tommy Oliver. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not, because he's a little shit and he complains about his match time. So let's bring on Downing on the right wing to replace Navarro and that yellow card, and let's bring on Sigrist at the complete forward role and see if he can continue his excellent season. And you know what? I'm going to make the third one as well. We're going to take off Stephen Clark, and we're going to bring on Vladimir Kolar just to give us that left-footed balance. I love a left-footed centre-back. I just can't help myself. Passionately, I have faith in you. 2 of them seem motivated, and that's really as good as we can hope for. There's a highlight here. Bradbrook with the long ball forward towards Sosa. It's flicked on again. Bradbrook tidies up. Clark with the long ball forward. Nen's going to get him behind. No, he isn't. He gave up on it very early. And Dijon Carlos comes out and claims. Is that the end of the highlight? Long ball forward. Clark wins a header on his own. Navarro heads it forward. Out to Helt. We've won it back on halfway. Long ball towards Sosa off the shoulder. And the strike is pretty much closed down, and that's the end of the highlight. Let's use our get creative shout as well. Caraman with a reverse pass. Rapp with a good tackle wins it back. Downing can release Nen down the line, and he does now. There's a fresh sub out the back, and Sigrist, can he find the finish? Oh, it's a poor effort. He really should have just absolutely led that one dead straight, and it would have gone in. We definitely come right back into it in the second half here, but do we have enough to push on and find that winner? 10 minutes remaining, we're going to use our demand more shout. That's really the last roll of the dice. They've immediately got a highlight from a corner. El Amrani from distance, he's hit the bar. Quackwire it comes to, he's got a man down the line in Sigrist if he can find him. But Demon with a good header away. El Amrani, Ramirez. Highlight continues. Demon with a good run. It falls to Sona Karaman, and it looks like he's been pushed. They're going to go check out VAR, and usually if it goes to VAR, it's going to get given as a penalty. It'll be disappointing if it's Tom Bradbrook that will have given it away, and he has given away a penalty. So let's see what Pat Nama can do from here to try and bail us out. Boyer to take. It's a good penalty. Send him the wrong way, and that sees them go up in the 84th minute. 17th goal of the season for him. That's pretty good for a guy playing on the left wing. We'll check it out in 3D here, but it's a pretty straightforward penalty. Now, can we do anything in the last 10 minutes? Let's use Get Creative again. Virgili with the ball forward. It's headed away. El Amrani. Good tackle from Downing. Is there a counter-attack on? There's a crossfield switch if he can hit it. Said he looks for Nen down the line, who plays it to Rapp. Back to Bradbrook. Just be calm. All the way back to Patanama. We've still got the ball, which is good. Bradbrook looks for Nen in down long. It's going to come back out to Downing. Can he get a ball across? Deep one towards Sigrist. It gets it away, and then the follow-up is excellently tackled by Luciano Donizetti, and he clears it away. So a good response. I think that was probably our best chance to actually find an equaliser because we're rocketing through the additional injury time here. 4 minutes to be added on. We're already into the last 30 seconds of it, and we yet to see the highlight. Here it comes. Berger takes it up the line, and the referee calls full time. So we definitely came back in the second half. We definitely showed that we were a better team than we played in the first half. They had 19 shots in the end, 6 on target, 50% possession. We had 14, 7 and 50 after only having 1 of each in the first half. Passionately, let's say, despite the result, I'm pleased with your performance because realistically, I think it means we dropped down to 5th. Even to be in 5th is pretty exceptional for where we thought we were going to be. Hashtag United fought a late defeat. Adrian Dennis, the goal scorer from that first one, got the man of the match award. 28-year-old Belgian with 108 caps. Ball-playing defender. Looks like a pretty phenomenal central defensive option there. And let's go and do the post-match press conference because I've skipped the last few. Liverpool didn't win, so they haven't gone above us. We can take a lot of positives out of our performance, and it was probably the right outcome. I thought we would value for the match. Should have had something. Sigrist could have done better, and Eric Rapp apparently had a poor game. So where does that leave us? Sees us in 5th on 46 points. So really, Southampton down in 8th are on 44, only 2 points behind us. Newcastle are in 7th on 45 points, 1 point behind us. We're ahead of Chelsea, who are also on 46 points, but have a game in hand via goal difference. If they win that game, they'll leapfrog and we'll go into 6th spot. And we are now 1 point behind Manchester United in 4th place and 3 points behind Liverpool, who are up into 3rd. So a lot of yo-yoing, a lot of moving between those different positions. We have a decent run home as well. We've got Everton, Chelsea away is a tough one, Tottenham at home is a tough one, but realistically, most of the rest of our games are winnable matches. The game against Everton, who are in 9th, will be huge next time out. The game against Newcastle will be massive to get a bigger gap between them. But what we're going to do is we're going to play through those matches off screen and we're going to come back for the last 2 games of the season against Burnley, who are currently in 14th, and Liverpool, who are currently in 3rd. That final fixture might be a massive one for us and our European qualification chances. But still, not a bad effort. To come this far to be able to compete with Manchester United and look like we're going to be the team that's going to go on and beat them in the second half, that's massive growth. That just shows how far we've come in the last couple of seasons. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the portion I appreciate the most. Feel free to comment below with how you're enjoying the series so far. If you're looking forward to our Atletico Madrid beta save, if you're looking forward to the FC Isle of Man series that we're going to start once FM20 is released, let me know what saves you're going to be doing in the comment section below. I will write back to every comment that I get. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they're released, or you can follow @InTheMixer_FM on Twitter to be kept up to date on all of our interactions with the Football Manager community, as well as the bit of hype before the release of FM20. As always though, I've been Sean, this has been In The Mixer, and don't you ever forget to hashtag it.